The bullet tore through the silence of the dawn, shattering the window of the ranch house and embedding itself in the wooden beam inches from Elias Thorne's head. He bolted upright in bed, his heart pounding like a war drum, the acrid smell of gunpowder hanging in the air. Was it bandits? Rustlers? Or something worse, someone from his past finally catching up? He grabbed his revolver from the nightstand, his fingers steady despite the adrenaline, and crept to the broken window. Outside, the Montana plains stretched endless under a blood-red sunrise, but there was no sign of the shooter. Just the wind whispering through the sagebrush, mocking him. Elias cursed under his breath. He'd been alone too long on this godforsaken ranch, ever since Mary died 2 years ago and that fever that swept through the valley. Hiring help had seemed like a necessity, not a risk. But now, with this shot echoing in his ears, he wondered if inviting a stranger into his home was inviting death itself. By midday, the town's sheriff had come and gone, dismissing it as a stray bullet from hunters or kids fooling around. Elias wasn't convinced. He rode into town, his mind churning with suspicions, and posted a notice at the general store, "Cook wanted for remote ranch. Good pay." Inquire Elias Thorne. He needed someone to handle the meals so he could focus on the cattle drive coming up. Little did he know, the woman who answered would bring more danger than any bullet. She arrived the next evening on a dusty stagecoach, her name Lila Voss, with eyes like storm clouds and a smile that could melt iron. Her dress was simple calico, but the way it hugged her curves spoke of secrets hidden beneath. "Mr. Thorne," she said, her voice a husky drawl that sent an unexpected shiver down his spine. "I heard you need a cook. I can start tonight." He nodded, sizing her up, no references, no baggage beyond a small valise. But her hands were calloused, like she'd known hard work, and her gaze held a confidence that bordered on defiance. He showed her to the kitchen, a sparse room with a wood stove and shelves of canned goods. As she unpacked, he caught a glint of something metallic in her bag, a locket? A knife? He shook it off, but curiosity gnawed at him. Who was she, really? That first night, supper was simple, beans, cornbread, and coffee, but it tasted like heaven compared to his own burnt attempts. They ate in silence, the lantern flickering shadows across her face. "You're a widow?" she asked suddenly, her fork pausing mid-air. Elias stiffened. How did she know? He hadn't mentioned Mary. "Yes," he grunted, his eyes narrowing. "Fever took her." Lila nodded, her expression unreadable. "Loss changes a man. Makes him lonely." Her words hung heavy, and he felt exposed, like she'd peeled back a layer of his soul. After she retired to the small room off the kitchen, he sat by the fire, revolver in hand, wondering if that bullet had been meant for him, or if it was a warning about her. The next morning, Elias rose before dawn to tend the horses. The air was crisp, frost crunching under his boots. He entered the barn, and there she was, Lila, brushing his stallion with gentle strokes. "Couldn't sleep," she said, turning with a smile that lit the dim space. Her blouse was unbuttoned just enough to reveal the curve of her neck, and she stepped closer, her scent of lavender and spice overwhelming. "You work hard, Elias. A man like you deserves some comfort." Her hand brushed his arm, lingering a second too long. He pulled away, heat rising in his cheeks. "Just do your job," he muttered, but his pulse raced. Was this flirtation? Or something more calculated? He spent the day riding the fences, but her touch haunted him, stirring desires he'd buried with Mary. By noon, a storm brewed on the horizon, dark clouds swallowing the sun. Elias returned early, finding Lila in the house, humming a tune he recognized, Mary's favorite lullaby. His blood ran cold. "Where'd you learn that song?" he demanded. She turned, innocent-eyed. "Oh, just something from back east." "Why?" He didn't buy it. That melody was from Mary's Irish roots, not common out here. Suspicion festered as rain pelted the roof. During lunch, she leaned across the table, her fingers grazing his. "You're tense, Elias. Let me help." Her voice was velvet, inviting. He stood abruptly, excusing himself to the barn, but the seed of temptation was planted. That afternoon, while repairing a corral, he found a fresh bullet casing in the dirt, same caliber as the one that shattered his window. His mind raced. Was Lila involved? Had she fired it to scare him into hiring her? Or was she the target? He confronted her at supper. "You know anything about guns?" Her laugh was light, but her eyes flickered. "A woman alone learns to protect herself." She poured him coffee, her hand steady, but he noticed a scar on her wrist, like from a handcuff. Who was she running from? The days blurred into a rhythm laced with tension. Every morning, Lila pursued him subtly, a lingering glance over breakfast, a brush of hips in the narrow kitchen, whispers of how strong he was, how alone he seemed. Elias resisted, clinging to his honor, his vows to Mary's memory. But her persistence wore him down, dreams turning heated, guilt twisting like barbed wire. One morning, she cornered him in the pantry, her body pressing close. "Why fight it, Elias? We're both lonely." He pushed her away gently, but his resolve cracked. "This ain't right," he said, voice hoarse. She smiled knowingly. "Is it the past holding you back? Or fear?" That twist came when he found her locket open on the table, inside, a photo of a man who looked eerily like him, but with a mustache and a sheriff's badge. His heart skipped. "Who's this?" he asked, holding it up. Lila paled. "My brother. Died in a shootout." But the resemblance was uncanny. Was it a lie? That night, thunder rolled, and he heard footsteps outside. Peering out, he saw a shadow dart away. Paranoia gripped him. Was someone watching the ranch? The next twist hit at dawn. Elias woke to the smell of smoke. The barn was ablaze. He rushed out, Lila already there, bucket in hand. Together, they fought the flames, saving the horses. Exhausted, covered in soot, he turned to her. "How'd you know it was burning?" She shrugged. "Heard a noise." But he spotted boot prints leading away, too small for a man's. Hers? Suspicion deepened, yet gratitude softened his edges. Over breakfast, she tended a burn on his hand, her touch electric. "See? We make a good team." He pulled back, but the temptation grew. Mid-morning, a rider arrived, a grizzled prospector named Jed, claiming to know Lila from Denver. "She's trouble, Thorne. Ran with outlaws." Elias's blood boiled. He confronted her. "Truth, Lila." She sighed, tears welling. "I was married to one. He beat me. I fled." Her story tugged at his heart, but Jed's warning lingered. Was she playing him? By afternoon, another turn, Elias found a hidden letter in her room, addressed to Darling, speaking of the plan and the ranch's gold. Gold? His ranch had none, or did it? Mary had mentioned rumors of a vein in the hills. Was Lila after that? He pocketed the letter, watching her closely. At supper, she leaned in, lips brushing his ear. "Let go, Elias. Embrace what we could have." His body betrayed him, desire flaring, but honor held. Night brought suspense, a knock at the door. A stranger, claiming to be Lila's husband, gun drawn. "She's mine." Elias drew faster, wounding him. The man fled, but Lila's face was ashen. "He's not dead," she whispered. "He'll come back." Now, they were bound by danger, her pursuit intensifying in the chaos. The following day, Elias rode to the hills, searching for gold. He found a small cave with pick marks, recent. Someone had been digging. Lila? Or her husband? Returning, he found her baking pie, innocent as ever. "Miss me?" she teased, offering a taste. The sweetness masked his doubts, but as she fed him a bite, her fingers lingered on his lips. Twist after twist, that evening, Jed returned, dead in his saddle, a note pinned, "Stay away from her." Elias buried him, fear coiling. Lila comforted him, her arms around him. "We're in this together." He almost gave in, kissing her fiercely, but pulled back at the last second. "Not like this." Morning brought revelation. Elias deciphered the letter's code. It mentioned a map in the locket. He stole it while she slept, finding a tiny drawing of his ranch with an X in the hills. Confrontation loomed. "You're here for gold," he accused. She laughed bitterly. "No, Elias. For you. The gold's a bonus." Her eyes darkened. "My brother, he was your twin. Separated at birth." Mary knew. Shock rippled through him. "Twin? Impossible." "But the photo." He demanded proof. She produced a birth record, names matching. "I came to find family. But I fell for you." Temptation peaked as she pressed against him, whispering promises. Honor wavered. Suspense built. That night, gunshots rang out. The husband returned with a gang. Shootout ensued, Elias and Lila fighting back to back. He took a graze, she a hit to the arm. In the lull, she confessed, "The gold's real. My husband wants it. But I want you." They barricaded, passion igniting in the danger, a stolen kiss, fierce and desperate. Dawn twist. The gang retreated, but Elias found the map altered. Lila had changed the X. Betrayal? He tied her up, interrogating. "Truth." She sobbed. "I love you. The gold's for us, to start over." He untied her, conflicted. Days of uneasy truce followed, her seductions relentless, morning baths where she'd accidentally leave the door ajar, evening stories of her past laced with innuendo. Elias resisted, but cracks formed. One morning, she slipped into his room, sheet-clad. "No more games." He turned away, but his voice broke. A telegram arrived, Mary's sister, claiming Lila was a con artist. Elias's world spun. Confrontation. "Who are you really?" Lila fled on horseback. He pursued, through canyons and storms. Chase suspense. He caught her at the cave, gold nuggets in her bag. "It's not what you think," she cried. Struggle ensued, revelations tumbling. She was Mary's sister, seeking revenge for Elias's alleged affair that drove Mary to death. Fever? Or poison? Twist. No, Mary died naturally. Lila's madness stemmed from grief. But in the fight, she pulled a gun. "If I can't have you." Elias disarmed her, tying her again. Back at the ranch, sheriff arrived. Lila wanted for murder in Denver. Her husband was a bounty hunter. Elias turned her in, heart heavy. But the end twist, as she was taken away, she whispered, "The gold's under the house." And the bullet that started it all? "I fired it, to get your attention." He dug that night, finding not gold, but Mary's diary, revealing Elias's own secret affair. Honor shattered, he realized Lila had known all along, her seduction a mirror of his guilt. Alone again, the frontier claimed another soul, temptation's victory bittersweet.